So we're just going to do a quick thing on some tips and tricks of things we've learned as we've done Art of Ethics with different groups. And also, I just want to say this whole lesson part is Liz's idea. And no, I mean it in a 100% positive way, Liz, in the sense that what I have learned doing this with children and youth is that every time I participate, they're more likely to participate. Like the high schoolers, as soon as their primary teacher started to draw what they might contribute, then the kids were in, because they saw my stick figures and they were like, all right, this doesn't have to be amazing. Of course, theirs were way better than mine. But so I think part of when you're in it, actually participating helps. Also having the kids talk to each other about their ideas and asking questions. That it might work a little bit better for some of the older ones, but definitely even if you have mixed ages, it's a great way to help the kids think about how to represent different ideas. Because my experience of doing this with high schoolers, but also with younger children around the seminary, is that they've got tons of ideas, but they stop when they don't know exactly how to represent them, or they don't think it's going to look right. So I think that's a big part of doing this work, is letting them know that we don't always know that, and that ours don't always look great. But the point is joining together in our expression of it. So Liz, some other tips and tricks you want to add?
So I'll quickly echo too, having a plethora of materials available can also feel overwhelming to children. So when I did this over the summer, we had some pom-poms, some glue, some markers. But not every table had every color marker. And that was so that they'd have to get up and ask other people, hey, do you have an orange? And that encouraged conversation and networking, creative networking. In that situation, a couple of kids said that they really valued video games. The reason, when we plumbed deeper, the reason they valued them was either A, they liked the competition, or they truly saw it as a way to spend time with some of their friends. And so what they valued was friendship. The way they convey that with that friend is time spent on their Switch. And so how were they going to convey that? So what they did was they took, that long ways rectangular Switch, and they made their eyes the upper buttons, I guess there's side buttons on it. I avoid them at all costs. And they made them their cheeks. And then their freckles were some of the letter buttons. And that this was very important. They had a giant smile on their face, and they had a friend in the background. And so that was how they conveyed it. When it comes time, if you decide that you want to participate in this, the first thing you potentially would need to do is get the okay from, whoever your boss is, your leader is. If you don't need that okay and you feel like doing it, go for it. But if you do need approval, I would highly suggest showing some of this artwork, because the first question is going to be, I don't even understand what you're talking about. Is this even possible? And showing yes, it is, because here are dozens of kids who have done this from all age ranges. But moreover, and I would say if you're in a more sacred context, I would remind them in a way they'll best hear that while we may separate discussion of ethics from faith explicitly, it's always implicitly in the room. That Matthew quote specifically says, not blessed is the peaceful, blessed are the peacemakers. And so there's a practical nature to that faith tradition. And only with practicing that are we going to be able to help infuse that understanding, that walking the walk? And pastors should be relatively amenable to that conversation. I would also suggest in the room that you have an assistant, not just for ratios, but because kids will have 3, 4, 5 minutes where they don't feel comfortable doing this. And then somebody will do something well in that child's opinion, and it will trigger and spark imagination, and they'll be off to the races. And it can get frantic because they're energetic and excited. And so having extra people to answer some questions or do all the, hey, Miss Liz's, because you can't do them all at the same time, is helpful. Also, because some of these children may have some difficulties, having extra people in the room that literally just walk around and give positive affirmation. Oh, I love that. How did you come up with that? Like open-ended questions. I wouldn't have come up with that. How did you? That's brilliant. And continue that positive affirmation. It will spark more and more curiosity and more creativity. And you'll find that some of them won't be done when they need to be done because they've really gone off to the races and they're enjoying it. This is absolutely doable in secular spaces. Right now, it would make an excellent way for children to either understand the holidays they may be experiencing, just not from a faithful space, a faithful environment, or much of what they're seeing and hearing about in the news. This is an excellent way for children to talk about confusion, frustration, empathy, and caring. When they feel all these things, they do actually want to help. And they're not powerless, but they may feel that way. And so offering this as a way to, how would you make peace? How could you do that in your context, right? They're coming up on just as busy a season as we are, and they're going to be rushed and hurried and overtired, the same as we are. And so that's kind of where I'd be.
Liz, can I just jump in on your last point? One of the things I saw happen with, well, a number of the groups that I worked with was that both using the Say Something book with younger kids, and then also with the older kids just talking openly about ethics. And that group had actually read about Jesus as a social revolutionary and like what Jesus was trying to speak back against. Sometimes the youth and the younger kids got caught in like what's wrong, what's not ethical. And so I mean, people can draw about that too. That is a statement about ethics. But I also think we want, as best as possible, to leave our kids empowered. And that's where like joint conversations came in, or where I was able to say, okay, what symbol could you add? Like, what do you want to see happen? Or as Liz just said, no, you can't solve world peace as we watched on the news, but you can live peacefully in your own life. And that has those ripple effects. And so I just want to make a pitch for the recognizing that, and it's come up a couple of times, but helping the group kind of have conversations that doesn't only land us, because when we talk about social concerns, we can sometimes only talk about the negative side of them. And so talking about what are we doing proactively in that. So, and I am conscious of time. I see we're at 12:59. So we are happy to stay for any additional questions you have. I want to remind you that all the materials are at steadcenter.com. And we are happy to answer questions, follow-ups if you have them. Thank you, Anna. And we also, all the materials have the QR codes on them for where to upload and how to upload.